Hello, American. Welcome to another installment of our Freedom series, where we talk about what freedom is, what freedoms we actually have, and take a close look at our constitutional amendments. Right here, right now, on the lost art of common sense. That's right, America. I'm Josh.
And I'm Kevin.
And this is the Lost Art of Common Sense Freedom Series 3.2.
Freedom!
Freedom! All right, we ended last episode with Amendment 6 and how it's being totally trampled on by the Democrats and the current powers that be in the DOJ. So let's move on to the 7th Amendment.
Just let everybody know, I've been sitting in the same spot for a week.
For a week.
Waiting for this.
Stinks.
I'm wearing the same clothes. I'm a dirty person.
Totally not pre-recorded because you're going on vacation at all.
No.
You're just
No,
dirty person.
I've been sitting here just waiting for you to jump back online for a week. And
I burned up all our minutes for the year.
Yeah. So I kept it recording. So yeah, days of recording. I think we want to get 15 hours a week or a year or a week or a month or
I think it's a month.
We get more than that?
15 hours a month.
Oh.
All right. So the 7th Amendment, in suits at common law where the value in controversy shall exceed $20, which doesn't sound like much, but it's about $681 in today's money. The right of a trial by jury shall be preserved, and no fact tried by jury shall be otherwise re-examined in any court of the United States than according to the rules of the common law.
You want to explain this one?
Yeah, it basically means it extends the right of a jury trial to federal civil cases such as car accidents, disputes between corporations for breach of contract, or most discrimination and employment disputes. So it's basically if you sue somebody for the value of, I guess it's still $20.
You got a right by trial.
You get a right by trial. You can pull a jury. Is really what it's saying. It kind of sounds like, though, that like shall be otherwise re-examined and no fact tried by a jury. Maybe that's true. Maybe if you choose to have a jury trial, you can't.
I don't think you can re-go after them for the same thing.
Yeah, what the hell's that called? Appeal. Maybe you can't appeal it. Maybe that's what that means.
It
Unless,
might
I
be.
guess, if the rules of the common law in your area allow it. But so that's a pretty easy one. Let's see. The 8th Amendment, excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishment inflicted.
Is this one being infringed upon?
It is in two different manners. Because now, granted, it's not being infringed on because, like, that guy that tried to stab that congressman just got let out with no bail on his own recognizance. Yeah. But then the dude that was attacked, the Indian dude that was attacked in his convenience store in New York that stabbed the guy who ended up dying, was arrested, and I'm pretty sure they made his bail like $500,000.
That seems like excessive bail.
That is excessive, considering it's on camera that the guy who came behind it, he was younger, stronger, was aggressive, and the guy was obviously defending himself. And then they ended up lowering the bail because there was a bunch of people bitching about that, but I would say that was definitely excessive bail. It wasn't like it was...
New York is basically communist China.
Yeah, it's a total shithole. And their governor, non-elected governor, is just a crazy, crazy asshole.
It's a woman, isn't it?
Yeah. Cult leader.
Yeah.
Follow me to Vaxtown, where...
I thought that Adams dude was going to be a better mayor for New York City. He is not.
No, he's almost...
Because he was an ex-police officer, wasn't
he? Yeah.
So I thought he was going to be a better governor or mayor for him, and he is a total POS.
Yeah, well, here's what I don't understand. Okay, people of New York, I do not feel sorry for you because...
If anybody from New York listens to us, what is wrong with you people? Why are you still living there?
Well, and here's the thing: uh, you voted for a Republican, and he turned the city around.
Yeah.
Giuliani. Then you voted for Democrats, and I guess the one guy who ran as a Democrat for president, but may have been a Republican back in the day.
Bloomberg.
The guy who went around and touched all the pizza,
Yeah.
touched
So
all the
gross.
pieces. He was kind of an asshole too. Wasn't necessarily a bad mayor. He was just an asshole. But then you voted for the guy who killed the hedgehog or whatever was it, groundhog.
On Groundhog's Day?
Yeah, you didn't see that clip where like they handed him the groundhog and he dropped him, and the groundhog ended up dying after the fact. That guy was a joke. He like literally shuts down the city and then goes out and dances in Times Square with his wife. It's like, hey, y'all got to be in your houses, but fuck you, because me and my
Dude.
crazy wife are gonna go dance in the street in front of your face.
Rules for thee, but not for me.
That's right. That guy had horrible
That's
teeth.
how
He's a billionaire.
That's how a lot of Democrats work. That's how
exactly how it
Gavin
works.
Newsom works. That's how like 8 mayors in California worked. That's how people in New York work. I'm pretty sure that's how Pritzker in Illinois worked. I'm pretty sure that's how Beetlejuice worked in Chicago. So people keep electing these morons, and they're obviously bad. Gavin Newsom got recalled. He still won.
Recalled governor, like he was recalled. And
but I mean,
like, you know what?
Have you seen that? Like, have you seen that? They're seriously considering having Gavin Newsom, the DNC. They're considering having Gavin Newsom run for president in 2024.
Yeah,
the dude got recalled in California.
Harris. He met with Kamala Harris in Washington, D.C. to discuss fundraising while Biden was in Israel.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, they know Biden's a disaster. Obviously, by polling numbers alone, they know he's a disaster. But
they're probably looking for a way.
Like you said, it's not Biden's fault. It's their whole platform. It's how Biden's a corpse. He's weakened at Bernie's. Basically,
he's weakened at Bernie's. If they would have filmed that 2 weeks after the guy died.
Yeah. So it's not him. It's all the people under him and all his lackeys that are convincing him to do these stupid ass things and writing his speeches. Because obviously he's not writing his speech. I don't even know if he can really. I mean, he reads everything. He's Ron Burgundy.
Oh yeah, he doesn't even answer questions. Like he literally reads everything.
Yeah, so he would be like, "Fuck you, San Diego."
I'm just waiting for him to say that. Someone to slip that in. It's like some right-wing hacker get in and change the teleprompter. Fuck you, America. Oh, yeah. What did I tell you? You put it on the prompter. He's got to read it.
He's got to read it. He doesn't even know what's going on. He's all happy. Good speech, everyone. Good one.
Good rally. Good rally.
Do you know what you said? Mr. President?
It's like everyone who voted for me is a complete idiot.
Yeah. So it's not him, obviously. It's the whole party.
No,
they moved way too far left. And
the Democrats are
somehow they don't think. Go ahead.
Well, right now the Democrats are getting like everything that they want because they don't have anybody with a backbone. He's never been a leader at all. And like, how in the hell? He's from New Hampshire, right? Like that's who he's a senator of.
Delaware.
How stupid?
Was it New Hampshire or Delaware?
I think it was Delaware. Okay, wherever he's from.
Well,
how
somehow
stupid
are
the people that kept electing him?
I know. Well, somehow he's from every city he's ever gone to. He's always got a city about him and his dad in some random city anywhere in America. Him and his dad, and maybe Corn Pop was there. No one knows. Yeah,
I'm from Scranton. I think he moved out of Scranton when he was 8. He's like, I was a truck driver. Well, I looked at a truck once. I didn't look back, and I winked.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I don't know.
Me and my dad went down the street. We saw 2 guys kissing. And my dad was like, Joey boy, that's true love.
That's real love, Joey.
Yeah. Like
You know the funny thing
1950.
is, so what did his kid reference him as? Like pedo Pete or Pete pedo, something like that.
Yeah, it's Pedo Pete.
So that name Pete is from a name he picked that he used to communicate while he was vice president, like being incognito, and it's from a book. I can't remember the title, but the character he picked was like a communist in the book. That's the
Well, it
character
makes
that he
sense.
picked. But think about the people who elected him.
Well, think
Okay.
about that. His own son calls him Pedo Pete.
But like how if you go back to that dude's entire career watching it, he's an idiot. He's always been an idiot. He ran for president
Absolutely.
like 3 times, and these dumbasses kept voting for him, probably because
Well,
he's corrupt and got money for their state, but whatever.
there was like certain, like, I think the first time he was elected, or not elected, but the first time he went for president, he was telling stories that he obviously like got from somebody else. He stole somebody's story. Like, not even like a person he knew, like another famous like person,
Yeah.
like another congressman, or like, I mean,
Oh, he
he
plagiarizes like
plagiarized a lot of
crazy.
shit, and he keeps telling people he does all this shit, and I don't know. And people keep just swallowing this shit up, and I can't believe he's got a 31% approval rating. I don't know.
Apparently,
I
there's
guess
31% in the polling community that are stupid or want to live in a communist. There are people that freedom and self reliance scares them, and they literally want to be taken care of. They don't care how shitty their quality of life is. That or they make a shit ton of money and don't do much to earn it, so they feel bad and they feel like they're insulated. Unless you're like worth hundreds of millions of dollars, you are not insulated from the bullshit that's coming if this country doesn't get turned around. But like that dude, I wouldn't be surprised if his actual approval rating was like
it might
five
be.
percent.
I I don't I don't know.
How can
I
anybody thinks he's doing a good job? Like, oh no, I love paying shit. Now, hardcore environmentalists would be like, yeah, I love higher gas prices because that's going to drive everybody to electric cars that they're not going to be able to afford to charge. And then when they find out that when they buy their electric car that the battery goes bad, that's going to cost you more than what the car's worth to replace a battery. You know,
were you the one telling me about the New York Times reporter who or something that like drove across America?
no.
Oh,
Tell the
well, I
story.
guess so. There's a New York Times reporter. She drove across America, and somehow, like, there was so limited like chargers across America, and like these rapid chargers and stuff. Uh they're supposed to be rapid, like 45 minutes. You know,
To get an
charge your car.
85% charge, it doesn't give you 100.
Yeah, yeah, 85% charge, 45 minutes. Well, actually, it took like 2 to 3 hours to actually get the charge. So basically, she didn't stay at like she hardly got any sleep because she had to wait for like she had to go to these chargers, and so she had to wait overnight and just like sleep in her car. So she barely got any sleep. Her vacation was pretty much ruined, and she said she missed the smell of gasoline in the air when she got back home because it was so much worse driving an electric vehicle across the country than just filling up at any gas station. Because I'm sorry, America, but we are not equipped for electric car usage yet. Our power grid isn't. Most homes built before probably 1980, probably even 1990, are not equipped to uh, don't doesn't have the kind of power source to like even install a charger at home. Um, the power grid would immediately fail because we can't even keep air conditioners on, and if we've had those since 1960 or 50, or I don't know when the air conditioner was built, and we still have rolling blackouts because of that. So I don't know what any of you environmentalists are thinking is going to happen, but this is not the way. We got to build a better power source.
Well, and like like this new the new advanced nuclear energy stuff like that, but you still like electric cars still aren't the answer right now because even Tesla batteries, although they are awesome in comparison to everybody else's, we not only have to improve the quality of the battery, how much it can hold, but how long it lasts. And then why is it such why is it such a hard idea to just do the battery swap instead of charging? Why is that not a thing?
Like a
You
propane
pay an
swap.
exchange, yeah, you pay an exchange fee to swap your battery, and then you're gone. Then you need to be able to get. I mean, the average. Now, here's the thing, though, because you're gonna have
Well,
to have
everybody have to have the
almost.
same battery, though. You have
Well,
to
that's
have a
fine.
universal battery.
They did
But I
it. They're
mean,
trying to. They did it with everybody with Apple, but every cell phone other than Apple has the exact same charging port by law. I don't know how Apple got away with that, but
because
that's what you
they
do.
worth.
You say
Yeah.
everyone uses the same battery. If you're gonna do this bullshit, everybody say has the same battery.
Well, I
Then you're
think
gonna
Apple's so vast,
that might be it because they
that
have
they
kind of
have
their
like
own
50% of the
ecosystem.
market. So they, it's 50 and 50.
But everybody else,
Yeah.
like they had the micro USB, now they all have the CUSB. But like, yeah, have it all the same battery. You'd have to have more exchange stations, but like that's the only way you're ever going to be able to make this work. And like large truck hauling, get the hell out of here. Unless they come
There's
out with
no
some
way.
kind of like having a fusion reactor underneath your hood, that's never going to work.
No. Yeah. So were you telling me that like there's a car, like some car that's the battery's worth more than the car is?
That's almost every electric car. I've seen videos of people like going over their Teslas, these 120, like Tesla Plaid. It's like $120,000 car, and they go over them and they're showing like, and you're paying that kind of money for a car. I want everything to be soft touch. There's gaps in the paneling. Like, trust me, the money's in the motors and the battery. And one of the most expensive parts of an electric car is the battery. And that's why if you look at used Teslas, you can get a Tesla sedan, like even one of the old faster ones, like in the 20s, maybe 30s. They do not retain their value.
Well,
And
that's
then if you
because one, the battery's going to go bad, before too long,
and I think their batteries are close to $20,000,
Yeah.
if not more. Because hell, they go
Yeah,
for 15,000 used.
I can imagine.
So it's like it's just not the technology, and that's the biggest thing about what we've always.
Well, that's why you can't switch out batteries because people would steal the fucking batteries.
Well, it's like
You'd have to make it cheaper,
You do,
or
need to
people
make
were
it
going to
cheaper.
steal them.
But
People
if you're
suck.
only
They're
if you're
going to
only dealing
steal the
with
battery
one
and sell them
battery-
black market.
Nah,
Like if you
have
take a
locking-
battery and sell it for 5,000 compared to 15,000, you're going to make a hell of a.
That wouldn't be hard to prevent. You just have like like a safe door. You know how they have the bolts that come out. Same thing with a battery. It wouldn't be that hard to figure. None of this shit's that hard to figure out. I mean, that's like if you pick one battery and you make one kick-ass, super badass battery, then cool. Blah blah blah. Even if it's an open source design, so like not one company's cornering the market where you have
Just
it.
get a nuclear rod and just throw it in your car.
And you really don't
with
even
a
need
turbine
to have,
engine. With a turbine. And there you go.
well, there you go. Or a Mr. Fusion where you can throw a banana peel in it and your car will fly.
Ooh. Yeah, there you go.
Back to the Future 2 reference. But I am.
Well,
But you don't even have to have the exact same batteries, just the same hookup.
Yeah.
Really, to where it's like you can have a bunch of batteries stored. But I mean, that's why environmentalists are stupid. They like, I don't know if we reverse engineered all the tech that we have now after the Roswell crash, because that's kind of when we went digital. But the one constant thing with technology is the electronics are way outpacing battery and power supply technology. That's always been a problem.
Speaking of Roswell, we did do an episode on aliens. Y'all
That's
check
right, and it was
out if you
awesome.
haven't. It was awesome. I can't remember what we talked about or anything, but I know I had a good time doing it.
We talked about aliens. It has cool special effects. Some of my best work.
Oh yeah, we did.
Let's get back to the Eighth Amendment.
Oh yeah, holy
that
shit! I forgot what we're talking about.
Let's get into the cruel and unusual punishment inflicted, because I feel the punishment should fit the crime. Like, the punishment doesn't, like when you see, like we watch a lot
What's
of,
cruel and unusual? Like if you're a pedophile, I feel like you should either A, be chemically castrated, or B, have
physically
your dick cut off.
castrated. Or
Yeah.
what?
Have your dick cut off.
Yeah, physically castrated.
Yeah.
With a
Or your balls.
Rusty-
I mean, if you really want to.
rusty cleaver.
Oh yeah.
But like we watch a lot
Murderers
of
should be murdered.
yeah, like we watch a lot of Discovery ID, and there'd be like You see some that are blatantly first degree murders, and I guess this goes state to state, but first degree murders in some states will get like 20 years, and other ones will get like life without parole. Then they end up getting parole or they get the death penalty.
And some are capital punishment to where you get the death penalty.
Well, and we just watched a story on Jasper, Texas, where those just total trash white supremacist guys drugged that dude behind their truck, which is actually what prompted the hate crime thing. But like I feel like those two of those dudes got the death penalty. I feel like their death penalty should have matched the crime.
Yeah, drag him behind a truck or a horse or something.
Yeah, like okay, well this is what you
or
did.
pull
So
them with horses.
Happening
You know,
to you.
You know what they used to do, like when,
quartering.
Yeah,
that's what that is when they tie your arms and legs to four horses and they just pull you apart.
Listen, there are certain crimes that there should be no cruel or unusual punishment.
No, like that's
any
like,
child murder should be the worst type of murder. Like you should have the worst thing possible happen. Let's just say we cut off a limb every 5 days.
Something. It should be really jacked up. Now
something really fucked up
with that Jasper,
where no one else would want to kill a kid.
Yeah. Well, like I know with that Jasper case, those guys, two of the guys, the other one was just some dipshit kid that was stupid. I think he got life, but the two were executed. But I think that wasn't it the town where it kind of seemed like God inflicted some punishment because I think that town got hit by an F5 tornado.
That was Jasper, Missouri, or something.
Is that Jasper, Missouri?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it should have been Jasper.
Joplin, Missouri.
Yeah.
That's not even Jasper. It's Joplin. So no,
there was a jacked up murder there too, wasn't there?
I don't know. I think they thought there was a cult there was one point, and is that the one where they blamed a bunch of kids, and it wasn't them?
Probably. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I just feel like those guys should have been on their execution day. Should be like
this is an amendment I don't agree with.
Well, but here's the thing, though. I don't think that is cruel and unusual punishment if you make the people suffer the way their victims suffered. That's why I don't think, because now it's like they want to get rid of the death penalty. Now, granted, if somebody, that's a double-edged sword, because if somebody like loves their life and they don't want to be in jail, then yeah, it probably would be worse for them to spend their entire life in jail. And if you execute them, and they do it in the most humane way now, like they give them a sedative and they wipe their arm with alcohol before they inject you with something that's going to kill you. But if your punishment matched the crime, people might think twice about doing stupid shit.
Exactly. I'm even saying, hey, if you steal so much money, cut your hand off.
Oh, we watched this show called Signs of a Psychopath, and these people are just like, there's this one guy who went around and murdered a bunch of women. He's just talking about it, smoking. Had to go through a carton of cigarettes during his interview, but like he just didn't give a shit. It's like, all right, well, that guy should, and he got life or something. It's like, no, like these people's lives are not just them; their lives are ended. All their family members' lives are changed forever. This person should suffer, and having 3 squares and a roof over your head, I don't think is considered suffering, because these guys would be like, well, I found Jesus and I got a PhD in basket weaving from Phoenix University.
What is that? Sociopath that doesn't have feelings? I think a psychopath.
No, it's a psychopath.
Then a sociopath thinks he's the only one that has feelings and he's the only one that matters.
Yeah, they're like everything revolves around it. Most presidents or people in power are sociopaths.
Yeah. Some people just take it to the worst.
Psychopaths look at people like objects. Like they don't. Yeah. They could kill somebody, and they just, like there's literally something wrong with them. Like they just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the punishment should match the crime.
Agreed. 100% agreed. I don't think that's cool or unusual.
I don't think so. I mean, it's like, oh, you chopped this person up, or you did this. Like, okay, that's what we're doing to you.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Now, if you're going to do that, it has to be unequivocal evidence, because like there have been people that have been executed, I think, that didn't commit the crime. That stuff's kind of messed up, but all right, on to this super exciting 9th Amendment.
This one is kind of important, though.
Yeah, was it the?
This is the one that gives the states the power.
No, it doesn't. That's the 10th Amendment.
Oh yeah.
The
Oh.
enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. Basically, what this says is if it's not in the Constitution, the federal government can't uh, make laws on it. They do all the time. Like, I would say that this is arguably probably one of the most
Uh like
beat
was
up
it
amendments in there because basically it says here's the Constitution is your law book. If it's not in the Constitution, because what they're back when they wrote the Constitution, they were Federalists and Independent or something like that. But they were like, well, the federal government can just go in and say this falls under our purview, and this basically says if it's not in the purview of the Constitution, it's not in the purview of the federal government. Period.
Yeah, this isn't like followed at all.
No, they make
And
laws
it's on
all
both
the time.
sides. Let's be real. It's not like it's one side or the other. This is where the other two branches of government constantly overstep their powers.
Well,
Constantly.
they don't. These agencies they make do.
Yeah. The DEA, the probably like what's that one? EPA, all the 3-letter agencies.
DEA, ATF,
ATF for sure.
EPA, OSHA, all of them.
Yeah.
Every single, even the Department of Education, Department of Transportation, all of those, they make regulations that aren't passed by Congress. Passes some bullshit milquetoast law, then creates an agency to enforce it. And then the agency takes that milquetoast law and makes all these fine little tweaks and shit like that. Like nothing that
But
the
they're
ATF
all
rules on should be legal. Like it's like, okay, I can't. Basically, the Firearms Act basically says you can't own a fully automatic weapon made previous like 1980 something, which is bullshit. I should be able to own everything. Everything.
yeah.
We've talked about
100%.
this. Everything.
Watch our 2A episode if you want to know our thoughts on that one.
I'm just saying, tanks and airplanes
Yeah.
and aircraft carriers. If I can afford it, I should get the same damn price the U.S. government pays for it, which is still millions and billions of dollars.
Well, yeah, it's probably actually inflated for the government because
I might be able to get it cheaper.
you probably could.
All right, what's your cash price on that F-18?
Yeah, way cheaper than what the government's paying. This is the actual price.
Say 54 million. I'll give you $5,000.
Yeah, deal.
Drop the extended flight tank. Don't need that.
Yeah,
I do want the air conditioning though,
and the missiles.
and the missiles. But like, yeah, I mean that's how the government I think gets around that. Like I think that's how they're really infringing on the Ninth Amendment, which nobody ever talks about because it's very vague, and I don't think anybody knows. I had to ask a buddy what the hell it meant.
Yeah,
But
I had no. When you read it, I had no idea.
it's confusing as hell when you read
One,
it.
you didn't put a space in the notes between 9 and 10, so I just
didn't
saw
write
10,
these.
and that's what. Just saying,
Copy and paste, bro. Copy and paste.
clerical error on your part. But yeah, so I just read the 10th, and I thought that's the state one.
Oh, yeah. You weren't paying attention to the bold font.
I was not. I just read the bottom.
Oh,
I didn't scroll. I didn't scroll enough.
What did
That
I
was
say
my
in the
fault.
last episode? You're a dummy. You dummy.
Tell me.
But yeah, that's how they infringe on that one all the time because it's like you got a bunch of bureaucratic assholes that
Well, I think the Supreme Court kind of ruled against shit like this, though.
just EPA. But see, that should be a blanket on everything.
But I mean, when the EPA, I mean, it's pretty much it is a blanket.
I don't think it applies to the ATF.
I think it does. I think it applies to all these 3-letter agencies. And
I think it'll still
OSHA
have to go to
and-
court. They're going to use this decision as
It's going to be
precedent.
a basis. Yeah. So basically, this is now going to be a precedent set by the Supreme Court to where it should. I mean, it depends who's on the court, obviously.
It's just that agencies shouldn't be able to make a rule because what they do is they make They're not laws; they're rules and regulations
Yeah.
that turns like okay. Let's say if they make so an AR-15 pistol, because if you have an AR-15 but it has a barrel shorter than 16 inches that doesn't have a brace on it, which would be like a blade, or there's another brace that goes around your forearm, that is considered a short barrel rifle, and technically, because the ATF is bullshit, is falls under the what the fuck is it? National Firearms Act, the NFA. It becomes an NFA item, and you have to register it and get a tax stamp.
I'm still trying to figure out what they regulate on tobacco.
Nothing, except for in New York, they will literally kill a guy off for selling cigarettes because they're not getting their tax money.
Well, you can't sell singles.
That actually happened. So you sell by check and you got to pay your tobacco taxes, but that actually happened. But no, if
That's because New
they're
York,
trying to,
as we said in the last episode, was the last episode or was this episode they're communist China?
I don't know. It's probably the last one. I think in every,
or are we just talking about it? I don't know.
In every episode, I think we bring it up.
I can't remember things past.
I think it was the last one. New York's communist China and then America. But like, no, they've been trying to. It used to be that if you had an AR-15 pistol, that you couldn't shoulder it. So like you had to have it against your arm, you could have it against your cheek, but you couldn't have it against your shoulder. And then someone took it to court, and the court's like, no, they can't tell you how you can shoot your gun. So then everybody started shouldering because an AR-15 pistol, you can get a 5-inch barrel, which would be stupid. You're actually losing ballistic coefficients the shorter your barrel gets and accuracy. But so now they're trying to they came out with this checklist like, oh, does it have this? Does it have this? Does it have this? Okay, well, if it has this, then it's considered short barrel. Basically, if they pass this, millions of people will become felons overnight, or you're supposed to turn your gun in. But you can't have a vertical grip in an AR-15 pistol. It has to be like a 45, or you can clamshell it. But it's like they make these stupid ass laws and they could turn in millions of people into criminals. And that, I think, is not only going against the Second Amendment, but the Ninth Amendment. And no one ever talks about
it. Well, one, I don't even think they like because the way it is, they don't even grandfather or shit. You know,
they weren't going to
have it.
Yeah. A lot of times when they make a law, they'll be like, all right, if you got it, you got it. But on this one, they weren't going to do that. You're going to have to go through a checklist to see if what your AR-15 pistol is actually a short barrel rifle. Now, I mean, I don't know. You could argue that the short barrel rifle or an AR-15 pistol is good for home defense. There ain't no way in hell I'm firing off a 5.56 inside my damn house if somebody breaks in. That's not happening.
No.
That would be so loud.
Oh, I know. You go deaf.
No, that's just my like I mean I just got one to go out shooting target shooting and stuff because it's fun. And you never know. I mean, I got lucky, but like in the year 2020, there were a whole lot of places where having an AR-15 might be the difference between having a house and having a pile of burnt wood. I mean, that's what's funny. They go through and they have 2020 riots, murders, arson, robbery, looting, all that shit. And then they're like, but we're going to take all your guns away because you don't need them. Look how well the law enforcement did in 2020.
You want to know when gun sales went up? It was right after that shit.
Oh, millions. I couldn't find guns or ammo. It was bullshit. Because everybody buys a gun always buys at least 50 rounds of ammo. You should buy a lot more than that because you should be trained and proficient in any firearm you own. If you're not, you don't have any business owning it. Other than it's your right, so if you want it, you own it. But, yeah, that's just like, I don't know. I don't like that one. Let's get on to the 10th Amendment. It's a big one. It's always being pushed on. And that's the powers not delegated to the United States Constitution nor prohibited by it to the states are reserved to the states representatively or to the people.
So this directly is one that was in the news lately because of Roe versus Wade. Basically, they said it's not constitutional law, that these laws should be pushed back to the states, and your state representatives who you should be voting for when you go out and vote. Don't just do the big one, the president. You should always go out and vote every time there's an election.
That's right.
I don't
Even
care,
if your city does its
city,
elections in
state.
March.
Actually, the smaller, usually the smaller the election is, like let's say city, then state, then federal. That's the most important one. Should be the city, then the state, then the federal, because that's how your life is mostly impacted, is from smaller to bigger. Your life should never, in this country, your life should never be impacted from federal down. It should always be from bottom up. That's how this country should be ran. That's how it's built to be ran. And that is not how it's happening a lot of times anymore. I'm saying a lot.
What?
But I said I'm saying a lot.
Yeah, it's because you're talking. Normally, when people say or like Obama did, it means you're lying or you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I'm not lying. I'm just trying to make sure I'm articulating this right.
I'm just saying that's most of the time it's called communication breaks. It's because you're trying to think of what to say.
I'm just trying to articulate it right.
Oh.
So, so your government should be ran from bottom up, not top down.
That is true. We should not actually. I've always been into politics, probably because of my dad. But like I've always paid attention, and I'm bad about that. And even now, I really don't watch the local news like I should. Of course, I've tried it once. It's just a bunch of stupid fluff stories. But
have you ever seen the local news though? Like a lot of times, I mean, it's local for about the first 10 minutes. Then it's usually national, like what they push, like whatever corporation owns most of these news networks. That's the shit they push.
Yeah, so it's all like most of ours here is left wing.
You ever seen those montages videos where they have like 30 different newscasts from around the country and they all say the same exact thing?
Oh yeah, that's like it must be. I don't know if it's the infamous name who shouldn't be mentioned, George Soros. I don't know who sends the memos
mentioned it. He who must not be named.
Oh my god! I'll just put
you did it.
Become invisible.
We're done. We're done.
We're done.
We're either
see us on Rumble.
We're done.
Now we will be making...
It was a good run, everyone. It was a good run. Thank you all for listening. This might be our last episode.
That's right. Because I said the name that should not be... But somebody puts out a memo. I don't know if it's somebody in the DNC, but they all say the same shit. They might augment a word here or there, but it's all the same shit. But yeah, like basically what that says is if it's not covered under the Constitution, it's not covered under the federal government. Period. Doesn't matter. And if it's not covered under the state constitution, then it goes down to your city, your state, like your local law.
County, city, yeah, whatever.
And yeah, like what Kevin was saying, the stuff that's going to affect, or at least should, but kind of does, you more directly in your everyday life is all your local politics. That's why you need to vote. We get like 11% of the population turnout for
start with your school board.
Oh shit, yeah.
For sure start with your school board. Then start with your city, then your county, then your state, then your federal. I mean, if you want, the president for the most part is just a figurehead for this country. Most of the things are ran through the legislative branch for federal. Obviously your state representatives, then your governor's kind of like the same thing, kind of a figurehead for your state. With then your state representatives have most of the power for your state laws, and obviously your city laws are going to be, your city council.
Your city council is really a big one. The mayor is just kind of somebody who runs the meeting, and they do run the police department. Like if your city's overrun with crime, that is 100% the fault of your mayor.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, everyone in our city council and our mayor are all, I think they're corrupt.
That's why the school board, because it starts with the kids.
Yep, and that's why they're going after the kids to raise a bunch of weirdos. Oh, and apparently, big tech's canceling people that call people groomers because it's true, and they don't like you saying words that are
every
true.
time. Here's another PSA. real quick. It's going to be a quick one.
This is the only
Every time
PSA of this episode, Kevin.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because we didn't do 2 back to back. This has been a week late or a week apart. So yeah, here's the PSA. It's gonna be short. Whenever big tech bans something or tries to deny something, it usually is true.
The more you know. That's true, though. That's not a lie, and that's and we are.
The
I don't know.
Laptop shit. Let's say half the COVID shit that came true. Mostly COVID shit that came true. The Hunter Biden laptop. All this shit got. I'm just waiting about a year and a half. It'll be January 6th shit.
Oh, you mean all the stuff that was conspiracy theories until it wasn't?
Yes. So all the stuff they banned because it's conspiracy theories and misinformation is usually the stuff that is absolutely true.
Well, and we will be making some. If you're one of the three of our followers on Locals, we will be making some episodes on COVID, January 6th, the 2020 election, and a lot of the other stuff that you can't say on platforms behind our paywall.
There will be a paywall, everyone, but we will be doing. I think after I get back from vacation.
Yep.
Let's
this
try
won't
to do
affect the normal Monday show, but
no, every Monday we'll have our same show. So these would be like a Wednesday, maybe a Wednesday, Friday. Depends when we can, what our schedule looks like.
Really, it'll be like a documentary of what 2 blue collar guys really think about those subjects.
And Josh is going to be busy here pretty soon.
I will be, hopefully.
Hopefully. So we'll do what we can when we can. We'll always have our Monday episode.
And we should be coming out with some shorts here pretty soon.
Some little 5-minute shorts that if you want to have somebody like listen to us and like they, you'll maybe thought something was funny. We'll try to find funny parts, some things that, maybe we just want to talk about, like just me or just Josh, just want to jump on real quick and talk, things like that. Well, that's what our shorts are going to be.
Yeah, I mean, my problem right now is my podcast studio is ridiculously hot. It takes about an hour and a half to cool down because it gets to 100 degrees in here. Because I don't know if you can tell, I may or may not be in an attic.
So, yeah, so when you're hot about
any HVAC.
It's hard to be hot about a topic than wait an hour and a half and still be hot about a topic.
Yeah, but if like me or Kevin ever just has something we want to bitch about or something, we might just jump on and make a short out of it. So we'll be making those too for our OCD, or not even OCD, just lack of, it's kind of not OCD. What is that? ADHD listeners that have a hard time making it through an hour-long episode.
And I'm going to try to come through and kind of watch all our episodes again and try to find some things that I think should be, maybe a montage.
Highlight reel.
Montage. So maybe a montage of stuff. So we're going to get some things going on here pretty soon. Hopefully
we're just trying to put out as much content as we can for when they finally come for us. They just have a.
I'm just waiting for like. Yeah, exactly. So when the people come get us for whatever reason,
for our re-education.
Yeah. Yes, our re-education. Just remember, these are still going to be on the internet somewhere.
That's right. They'll always be on Rumble.
Maybe.
And so you should follow us on YouTube. You should follow us on all of them. Telegram. We got like 17 people that I added to it. Some of them don't even know they're on it yet. But that's a good one because they don't really give a shit unless you're saying something really stupid.
Yeah, so Telegram, we're on local. We got a locals thing. Is that? I don't know how to find. I've never been on locals.
It's actually linked to Rumble, but you just go to locals and type in Lost Comment or Lost Art of Common Sense, and it'll come up. It is actually linked to our Rumble account. That's why we keep saying go to Rumble. Rumble.
Yeah, so everybody just watch us on Rumble, really. I know
Rumble,
you're used to YouTube, but it's the same goddamn thing. So it's the same exact quality.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a little hard to do search stuff, but if you like the show and want to watch it on Rumble because you sign
Yeah, but
up,
you can
you'll
subscribe
get
on Rumble, right?
Yeah, you get notifications, stuff like that.
Yeah, so just subscribe on Rumble.
Yeah, you'll get notifications. Sometimes it comes out like 3 days later because I subscribe to our chat. Oh God, I'm one of our 3 subscribers. Oh, it's so sad.
But I'd also want to thank the 32 or what is it?
Yeah, 32.
Our
We got a new one
on YouTube. Yeah, our subscribers on YouTube. So if you're one of them, thank you very much. But there should be more of you. So if you haven't subscribed to any of our channels, obviously I know a lot of you listen to it on the podcast, and we thank you so much. So thank you for make sure you subscribe to us on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Anchor, wherever you listen to your podcast.
Yeah, and I'm not 100% as far as audience interaction with podcasts, how that works. If you have if you just want, because you've known us for a while now, we've been doing this for a minute. If you want our crazy take or opinions on a subject, comment below for a short. If you want Kevin to explain, the birds and the bees, which would be hilarious.
I can do it.
I mean, but if you just want us to do a short on something, type in the comments. I don't know if you can do it on the podcast stuff. I doubt it. I know I can put questions. I'm
pretty sure you can probably do a 5-minute podcast or whatever. If you really
no, we can do it. I'm just saying, as far as our podcast listeners interacting with us, so we know. You can message
what
us
you
on
do
Facebook,
is
the website.
I don't know. You're in charge of our Apple podcast or whatever. So I think do you get notifications if we get a comment on Apple?
Maybe if we haven't gotten any, because I haven't gotten any notifications.
Can you check at some point?
Yeah, I'll see.
Oh
God, we got 1,500 1-star reviews.
I haven't even. Hold on. I think I can probably just check my podcast now. Real time, folks. Real time. Weirdly, I am one of our. Let's see.
You listen to our podcast. I listen to our podcast.
I do.
We're very entertaining.
All the goddamn time. I'm not sure how this works.
I had a hard enough time setting all that stuff up. You want me to look stuff up? That's crazy.
What I like is our rating is clean.
Apple must have a very low bar.
We only have 7 ratings, but they're all 5 stars. So thank you everybody who has.
Oh, we have 7 reviews. Podcast. I didn't know that.
No, 7 ratings.
What is that?
5-star ratings. We have 7 5-star ratings, and I want to thank everybody who has rated us 5 stars. Keep doing it. Tell your people, even people who don't listen, to just click on our link and rate us 5 stars.
That's right. Give us 5 stars, then talk shit in the comments.
Yes, and that's all we ask of anybody.
You know what? We want more audience interaction. We'll react to,
if you actually do enjoy our show, and maybe we can do a live show. I think Locals allows a live show, don't they?
Yeah, I got to figure out how to do it. We can do a live thing.
Yeah, we can do a live show where we'll answer your questions. Maybe if you have some government questions or aliens or ghosts, or basically we have a wide range of bad knowledge. Maybe not.
We know
knowledge,
a little,
but we know how to
about a lot.
We know a little. Yeah. So exactly. So we can pretty much cover any subject, and I can pretty much bullshit my way through it. So even if I know nothing about it, I'll sound like I kind of do.
Here's the thing. The name of the show, Lost Art of Common Sense. You can get yourself through most of life's problems and stuff that you don't know about, or if something's going on, using common sense. So that's why you don't have to be a scholar. And I was going to say, I'm not a constitutional scholar on some of this stuff, and it's kind of jacked up that you have to be. The Constitution shouldn't be that hard to understand. You shouldn't need to be a scholar to know what your freaking rights are.
No. And I don't think you really do. I think constitutional scholars, I don't know.
I didn't think it might. It's technically Obama's a constitutional
basically
scholar.
A constitutional scholar is somebody that can bend the Constitution to their whims and It's somebody who's a good bullshit artist, I think.
Well, yeah. I mean, Obama's a
For the most
constitutional
part,
scholar. Then he passed Obamacare.
there's two different types of constitutional scholars, I think. Like people who follow Constitution to the letter and people who try to bullshit their way around the Constitution to make it look like it fits into the Constitution.
Yeah. So, yeah, you should have to be, and everybody should know what their rights are, because if you did, you'd be appalled, because I'm pretty sure the founders of our country would bitch slap every single person in this country.
Yeah, and as we go through the rest of these, we'll probably do like at some point 11 through 15, maybe 11 through 20, depends.
Yeah, these are good for our, Kevin's going on vacation, so these are good to pre-record because we're not talking about current events.
So 11 through like 20, we'll do something. But those are ones that are written later for the most part.
They actually get a little bit. They get a little more wordy.
Yeah, too. They're more wordy and more vague as you go farther on.
All legal
for
sounding.
Some of them. Yeah, so that might be why you need to be a constitutional scholar.
Yeah, because like the Second Amendment, which 100% doesn't need one at all. That is very blatant and explained in the Freedom Papers exactly what it means. But people want to be like, no. Just because, there's going to be a couple weeks after it happened. But one of the girls on The View who did something for the DOJ was actually talking shit about that Eli Dickin guy.
What?
Yeah, like saying, oh, well, he shouldn't have had a gun in there. Blah, blah. He basically saying he was 100%. It's a constitutional carry state. And you can have, and I don't know about other states. I know here in Texas, if you're now, I think we have constitutional carry, but it's kind of weird. I have a permit to carry. So if I go to a business and it says no guns allowed, I can still carry.
Yes.
Like it has to be the exact verbiage, the right size of lettering.
It can't just be a sticker in a window.
No, we call it 006 or 007 signs, where one is like 006 is no concealed carry, 007, which is 30.07, is no open carry. You'll see that a lot. Like a lot of businesses don't like people open carrying. I don't know why anybody would open carry. If you want to and that gets your rocks off, great. You're just making yourself a target, but whatever. I like to be the guy surprising from behind the Lay's chip display. Zoom! Or be the Twisted Tea guy. I don't need no fucking gun.
Just smack the shit out of somebody with a Twisted Tea.
That was great. I loved all the memes that came from that.
Oh, yeah. There were so many. They were all awesome.
Oh, yeah. But no, she was like making it like he broke the law, or like, it's like, oh, well, here's the problem was that guy.
So she'd rather have more people dead.
That's the only conclusion. Now, she was making it like, we have too many guns. We have a gun problem. It's like, we don't have a freaking gun problem. We've always had a shit tons of guns in this country. We have a
listen, you liberal fucks.
Person problem.
People suck. Not the guns. Guns have nothing to do with it. People fucking suck. Like you said, most people who have a conceal and carry permit they're less likely to commit a crime than even police officers.
True stat. True statement.
Responsible gun owners are just that. Responsible.
Yeah, the guns aren't going out and shooting people. People are shooting people. Like, you can't sue Ford if somebody hits you drunk driving. Even though I think someone tried, but you can't do that. It's like,
no,
it's freaking
you can't sue all these fucking vaccines for COVID. Let's find out there's a side effect in 10 years. You can't go back and sue them.
That's what I was going to say. The new mayor of New York fired another 200 people because they refused to get the vaccination.
That's fucking ridiculous. The vaccination has been proven not to work.
Yeah, it doesn't stop you from getting it, spreading it, and in some cases you can still die from it. And there is have you heard of SADS? Sudden Adult Death Syndrome.
Death syndrome, yeah. That just started, right?
Yep, and they're like, we don't know what's causing this.
Well, it's just like liver fucking problems.
Liver, heart.
Yeah. All of a sudden, myocarditis is all of a sudden a thing.
I'm not saying it's from the vaccine. I'm just saying that this SADS
It's a
epidemic,
weird coincidence.
I think it's killed over 5,000 people so far. Just happened to come out around the same time. So we don't know. We don't know. We're not experts.
Did you see that Germany actually did a study that 1 in 5,000 people who got the vaccine have major reactionary symptoms?
I think that was part of the 75. Oh, and if you get the monkeypox vaccine,
That was from the German government. 1 in 5,000. 150 million people got the vaccine. So you just divide that by 5,000. That's over 100,000 cases that could possibly that have major side effects to the vaccine.
well, and they apparently, if you get the monkeypox vaccine, you're actually enrolling yourself in a clinical trial because the WHO just designated monkeypox as a worldwide health epidemic.
Jesus. Listen, if you're and let's not sidevert this. It's mostly to the homosexual community, males. Just wear protection. You know,
Yeah,
I mean, it's not 100%. You know,
and don't go hugging, rubbing up against some
99%.
people with open boils
Maybe-
and sores.
Don't be a whore or a slut. You know,
Oh, that's harsh.
don't be sleeping around. You know, people are dirty.
Well,
So,
here's the thing: monkeypox.
vet your lovers.
That's right. You can either get monkeypox through sexual intercourse, or if you come in contact and don't wash, I think, with someone that has open sores from monkeypox. Those are the two things. That's why the CDC came out and said, wear your mask. They're like, let me take that back. That's stupid.
Yeah, so if you see somebody with a weird rash, don't rub up against them.
No hugs. No hugs.
Yeah, don't.
So
No struggle snuggles.
that's our second PSA.
The more you know.
Dun, dun, dun.
Wow, that was a hell of a PSA.
It was wonderful. But I think that wraps this episode up, Kevin. We've knocked out 1 through 10 on the Freedom series.
Freedom!
So I think we'll wrap it up for this week. Until next week, I'm Josh.
And I'm Kevin.
And this was the Lost Art of Common Sense Freedom series.
Freedom! Common sense!
Common sense!
Common sense!